Everyone, welcome to Sky Soarr Entertainment Park. I don't think there's a better place to talk about adventure because here you don't just hear about it, you actually try it. Let me start with a question. How many of you know exactly what you want to become in life? Nice, very confident round. Some of you are just hoping that it works out. Even today, I don't fully know what I want to do next. So, if you're confused, welcome to the class. You can plan. It's an adventure. And leadership is having the courage to take the next step, even when you don't know how it will turn out. Standing here today is actually quite funny for me because back in school I was very shy. I didn't talk to anyone. I didn't even talk to any boys in class. And whenever I had to give a speech, my legs would literally shake. So much that people used to say, Siddhant ki nikar hil rahi hai. They weren't wrong. Has this ever happened to anyone? Please raise your hand. Then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And for the others, you're lucky, but your time is coming. But something was wrong with me. But now I realize nothing was wrong. I just hadn't done it enough. That's how confidence works. You build it. And it's not just on stage. You feel it in small moments too. When the teacher calls your name, or when you're holding the mic for the first time, or when all eyes in class turn towards you. How many of you have watched or heard of this movie? And how many of you know it? Good, because I had this fear that maybe you guys are too young and you probably watched it in college. Imagine, the door is open, the wind is hitting your face, and you know there's no going back. He was scared, but he still jumped. Let's be honest, how many of you feel scared to raise your hand in class sometimes? Because even today, I sometimes feel that in conferences. Thank you. Because that's what adventure actually looks like. It's in moments like these, when you're sitting in class, you know the answer, but your mind says, what if I'm wrong? Your heart is racing, and still, you decide to raise your hand, just like you did right now. Or, when your name is called on stage unexpectedly, and for a second, you feel like saying no, but you still walk out. Nothing you should be looking for. And that feeling just doesn't disappear. It just comes back at a bigger level. At 25, I became the general manager of the hotel you're currently staying in. People older than me reporting to me. I was learning and pretending I knew what I was doing. And I kept thinking, am I even ready for this? You know what the answer was? Not ready. But I showed up every day, learned, made mistakes, and improved. And that's when it becomes clear. You don't become ready first, you become ready while doing it. You all know this moment when you open an exam paper and the first question looks unfamiliar. For a second, your mind freezes and your brain goes, "Ye syllabus mein tha kya?" But then you start writing anyways because you don't have any option. And then came something bigger. building Sky Soarr Entertainment Park, J&K's largest indoor entertainment park. There was risk, there was doubt. People asked, are you sure this will work? I didn't have all the answers, but I started anyway. Because most things in life don't come with guarantees. It's like trying something new for the first time. Maybe a sport, maybe an activity, where others seem more confident, more experienced, and you feel slightly out of place. And you're just there thinking, I hope no one is watching me right now. But that's exactly where growth begins. That slight, uncomfortable feeling, that's not a problem, that's growth. But not everything in life is exciting. Sometimes life tests you. There was a phase in university, I went through a lot of bullying. I stopped talking to people, I kept to myself. I didn't feel like doing anything or leaving the room. You know, one of those days when you come back home from school and you just don't feel like talking to anyone, or you keep replaying something someone said again and again. I'm talking exactly about that phase, but I faced that in university. But the thing was, I didn't let myself feel stuck. I kept doing something, whether it was watching movies, taking part in activities, or anything. The city and went. But like they say, without challenges, building anything becomes boring.